Hello everybody, my name's the Zero Man and welcome to Countdown to Zero. If you don't know the format, basically I take a look at games from past, present, and sometimes current games. Usually I don't get around to them because I'm playing them instead of reviewing them, but I try to name 3 good things about them, 3 bad things, and an overall score about where I think it should be, 5 being an average. No 10s will be given, so 9 at the best being an absolutely you must have this game, and 1 being absolutely atrocious, don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. So, today we are looking at War of the Roses Kingmaker. War of the Roses. This game came out, it came out last year, and there was a big YouTuber tournament leading up to the release. I don't know when they released it as Kingmaker. That came after I stopped playing for ages and ages and ages. But I remember the YouTuber tournament, just like Total Biscuit, Yogscast, Angry Joe, bunch of people riding around on horses and lances killing each other. Yes, it was fantastic. So, anyway, let's get into the settings. Audio settings, master volume, music, SFX, voiceover, and different kinds of voiceover. This is very good. Rather than just, one audio setting, we actually have multiple for once in a video game. And yes, they have all of their stuff turned way up. Now, of course, just for the point of recording and actually getting a decent amount of frame rate, I do have a lot of stuff set really, really low, but I'm still going to show you how this is a very good looking game, even the fact that this is set on low quality. Controls, invert. Yes, this inverts and parry. It'll come back in. Mappable keys, which you'd be surprised how many games don't let you map key bindings. And different pop-ups that happen in the game. So, what is War of the Roses Kingmaker? Well, it is essentially a game in the vein of Mountain Blade. It has the same kind of fighting mechanics, the same style of combat, but with actual customizable characters. So, as you can see here, these are like for the defaults. This is a footman, fairly heavy armor, shield, sword, not anything too spectacular about him. A guardsman, built more for dual-handed weaponry, max amount of damage, least amount of... He gives up a lot of defense and sake of damage. Longbowman, very light armor, but can reach out for a very long range. I'm in fact very, very good as a longbowman, or at least I used to be. And the Foot Knight, the most heavily armored and armed out of all the characters, as he's carrying the poleaxe, which can cut through armor like butter. Here's my adorable, adorable character. They reset a lot of things a long time ago, so I really can't... I don't have my character as he once was, sadly enough. There are different kind of perks, which... The fact that there's a buy coins option makes me very, very sad. Offensive perks, defensive perks, supportive, movement, and officer. Officer... Yeah, it lets you tag objectives, but it's really not all that important. Movement, you could go for infantry or cavalry if you want knights. Supportive, you can capture points, which doesn't matter anymore, or surgeon and bring people back to life. Defensive, you could either go for heavy armor or for shields, and offensive, you can go for range or man-at-arms with weapons. Weapons, bows, crossbows. This one I'll get back into a second. The hand gone. There's your lances, your polearms, your two-handed axes, your two-handed swords, your spears. And they've got multiple different kinds of weapons for each class. Ooh, Holy Trinity. Very nice. But as you can see, just tons and 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 tons. Except for lances, because, even guns. Even guns. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons. Sidearms, you have your basic swords, your axe. You have your basic swords, your basic axes, which I like the woodsman's axe. That's quite hilarious. And I like the short prill there. And you have your clubs. The shillelagh. Ah, the shillelagh. Back up, you have different kinds of helmets. You have light helmets here, which are more for archers than anything else. You can go as an assassin. You have different kinds of medium helmets. You know all those really silly helmets you see in like medieval type games or movies or whatever? Yes, those helmets are here. Bear helmets, rounded helms. Hell, heavy helms are even funnier, like the frog mouth. The frog mouth is hilarious. Ah, yes, the bar boot, which has inspired many, many different kinds of sci-fi helmets. Ah, Venetian bar boot, which looks like it's been inspired by the Greeks. Armet. Can you tell I'm a bit of a history nerd? You could do different kinds of faces. The lady. The squire. It doesn't really matter because, well, I have the helmet on, so it... Yes, thank you. And different kinds of armor. We have just... Yes, here you go as peasant rags, which require you to be level 60. These are the weakest... This is the weakest armor in the game, and it's also the most hilarious if you actually kill somebody with it. It's quite silly. Then you have your more just male-oriented middle ones. And then you have your heavy armors, which... Yeah, just... They're pretty much the exact same. So... Before I actually play the game, I will go through the top 3 reasons I like this game, and the top 3 I do not. Just before I get to the gameplay. Because why not? Number 1, why do I like this game? Well, the amount of customization, as you could see with this, is absolutely staggering. Just open up armors, and there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of armors. You open up weapons, and not only are there a ton of different kinds of weapons, there's tons of different weapons within each subcategory. So if you want to play a certain way, you can play a certain way. And not only that, but let me open this up and show you. You can actually get different types of skill sets. So say, oh, fighting style. The fighting style increases damage or ready up speed, and then you can get different kind of blades, which increase the health or increase damage absorption. Now, health really only matters when you have very breakable weapons such as a lance or such as a shield. Swords, I have never seen a sword break. It's fully possible, but I've never seen one break. So damage absorption is when you're blocking with it, and usually you shouldn't be blocking with your sword, so it shouldn't matter. Standard sealed. Now you have an edge grind. The edge grind does the cut. So you have like flat, which does health. You have double beveled, which does massive amount of health for actually no cost there. That's amazing. Like convex, which is lots of health, but increased damage. Hollow grind, which gives you... Which really I don't see why you would want that. It decreases health and doesn't seem to increase damage any. So let's just go flat. And then you have pommels. Like, can you see? Can you see the amount of customization? Just like down to the very tiniest detail of how you want to make your weapon. And that's not it. That's not even it. You can design your own coat of arms with all of these different choices and selections and color stylings, and this game is fully customizable in every single imaginable way, and it's wonderful. And not only that, but going into my second point, if we come back here into the settings menu, the video settings, look at all these settings for just like any third-party company to go, oh yeah, hey, here's just all of these settings, like anything you could ever possibly want, go crazy. Just go absolutely nuts. For them to do that, you don't see these kind of options in AAA games half the time. And even when you do see them in AAA games, they either have minimal change whatsoever to the game, and or they aren't halfway functional. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty Ghosts. Yes, I've seen what your highest resolution graphics looks like, and they are terrible. This game outshines you, and that's not saying much. But my third thing, the game is actually incredibly, incredibly fun. Like I said, my favorite being the Longbowman, and I'm going to show you me attempting to play the Longbowman here. But I love it. I love this game. It's fantastic. It plays like Mountain Blade, which I played very, very early on. Very early on, actually, in the channel's life. And I played Mountain Blade for ages. I played this game for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, I don't honestly play multiplayer games, but I've played the crap out of this game. But I have to get to the downsides. So, let's open the magical server browser. And let me show you the problem here. London tournament, 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 London tournament. You see the problem here? The only ones that are not London tournaments are the official servers. The official that's my number one complaint, is everything is London tournament now, and there's one reason. There's only one game mode still alive in this game, and that is dueling. Dueling and jousting. There is nothing left in this game. There's no death matches. There's no capture the flags. There's no like capture the points and score. Domination, there we go. That's what I was reaching for. There's no domination mode. All of those are dead. All of those servers are gone. The only ones that are still around are the official servers. Literally, every private server I have ever seen anymore is dueling. Dueling server. Let's see. Dueling server. Dueling server. That's an official one. That's an official one. That's a dueling server. Let's see. This is Brandenburg. That's an official server. That's an official hardcore server. That's an official server. That's an official server. Yeah. You see here? You see the problem? The only ones that aren't London tournament on this map are official servers. Every single other one is a dueling server, and I have no idea why, because dueling is so boring. Like, compared to the other modes, dueling is so boring in this game. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why every single thing is a dueling server anymore, or jousting. It's the most boring thing in this game. The second problem I have with this game, I completely forget how to get out of this. There we go. That works. The second problem is one I mentioned a little bit earlier. Where are you? These. The guns. Now, if any of you historically know about the War of the Roses, War of the Roses took place in Renaissance England between two different factions in England. Gosh dang it, I cannot remember anymore. It's the Yorks. Oh no, I'm failing my history here. Ah, oh, never mind. It's the white roses versus the red roses, essentially, which came down to Yorks versus kind of the parliamentary at the time, and that's besides the point. Anyway, as I'm rambling on and failing history massively, guns. Guns in Renaissance England. Now, I know the fact there were guns, and they were used, but these... You see how the speed on them says they're really low? Yeah, that's a bit of a lie. And when I say it's a bit of a lie, it's the fact that, oh, well... Well, it means that, yes, it says they're slow, but, well, faster passive reload, steady aim, eagle-eyed, mostly this one, sleight of hand. When you get a shotgun, or any kind of gun in this game, and modify it to fire it as fast as possible, and then have sleight of hand perk on top of that, I literally saw somebody fire a 1500s era gun 2 times in the span of 20 seconds. Now, just to tell you how completely inconceivable that is, at most, in the Civil War, you could fire 3 shots a minute, at most, from a musket. This is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after the War of the Roses, where guns are better understood, where the processes of loading and building them and the firing mechanisms and all that and everything is better understood and has a better chance of working. And has the fastest reload time up for non-cartridge based rifles. 3 rounds a second, 1800s. This is the Renaissance era, where guns are known for failing, and guns are known for exploding because the metal's not right, and guns are known for being fairly ineffective and slow, and you could fire one in 20 seconds twice. Can you see why I'm annoyed by this? I literally got killed by someone shooting twice with a gun in 20 seconds. Now, the fact that he hit me twice with a gun from Renaissance period amazes me, but twice? Twice? I'm sorry, I'm a little frustrated about that. That's actually when I threw my hands up in the air and said, I'm done. Let's go to practice mode. I know I said I'd talk about the 3 things, but I'll just go into this and... Lancaster, that's the other one. But I said I'd talk about, you know, the 3 things before I did this, but I might as well while I'm in here. There is no decent amount of crowd left. When I say there's no decent amount of crowd left, well, the reason I say that is unless you want to do kind of like tournaments, just like one-on-one fighting with people, there's nothing left in this game. Like, there's literally nothing. If you want to joust, then you'll find some people. If you want to duel, you'll find some people. But don't go into this expecting tons and tons of people actually playing like conquest modes, because there are none at all. And it's sad. It's really sad because I love this game. I love it to death, but there's just nobody left in it. And I'm just sitting here beating up this guy just to kind of show off combat. I like how it registers damage off that. But yes, like each character has an ability. Hitbox it. Like you can put down the helmet and it changes the view, but it decreases the hitbox. But yeah, the third thing is there is no like people left in this game, and pop in a little bit there. But yeah, as crappy as this looks because I have it on low settings, it's still not bad. Character models are still good. Texture is still good. Let's be honest, we don't expect ground textures to be all that decent. I'm not sure what's going on with that sunflower. That's a little odd. You can see like the tint fabric is really nice, because the tint fabric is like run by a lot of stuff in this is run by NVIDIA PhysX, so it's a good game. I love this to death, but it's dead. Like, it's honestly dead. There's nothing left. There's not a single thing left in this game at all for anybody, unless they want to go and just go one-on-one fighting or jousting. And I can't in good faith say, hey, this is a great game, go pick it up, when there's nobody around who wants to do any of the fun modes in this game. So, in all honesty, if there was tons of people who did something besides just one-on-one dueling, then I would heartily give this game an 8 out of 10, which would be an exceptional game. Nigh perfect. It does have issues here and there are times where you can get severe amounts of lag and two other problems I said besides the community as it stands currently. But I honestly, as the community stands, I can only give this... You know what? No. I'm going to keep my 8. I'll keep my 8 and say, buyer beware. If you expect to come into this and have a bunch of really fun matches, you are going to be sorely disappointed. I'm really sorry about that. Honestly, if you guys want to come in and start playing this and start building back up those servers that aren't dueling, please do so. Just please, I want to see this game brought back. Because I want to play this game, but I'm going to take it off my machine because there's no reason to, because I don't like dueling. Not to mention my ping is terrible. But I love this game. Please don't let it die. Please. I want to see it come back in full force. I know War of the Vikings is on the horizon, which is kind of like a sequel to this type thing. But I don't want to see this one die. I want this to do good. This is one of the best games I've played in ages. And I'm really picky about games. Like, if I run into a few problems with a game, I throw fits. You know this. You've seen me review stuff before. And just tear it apart for minor things. So, yes, wait for this to go on sale. The Christmas sale, especially. It'll probably go on a 75% discount. Pick it up. Try and build back up the community. Not the dueling community, the rest of the community. The people who actually like playing domination, or like playing deathmatch. Not people who like dueling and jousting. Build that community back up. Please, guys. Please, from the bottom of my heart. I want to come back to this. I want to come back this and just get on the server list and see death matches everywhere and just straight up fighting and conquests, and I want that back. Please. I'm begging you. This is one of the few times where I say, buy this game. I know there's only a community for dueling and jousting right now, but I really want there to be more, because it's such a good game. And I'll stop ranting now. I'm getting a little bit too impassioned, but it's just because it's one of the few games I literally love, and I hate to see how it's dying like this. So until next time, guys, I have been the Zero Man, and you have all been fantastic. War of the Roses is on Steam. Go and pick it up on Steam Christmas sale. It'll probably be about 75% off and one of the main deals one day. That or a flash sale, one of the two. So until next time, guys, stay beautiful.